Now the question is, why reproductive health? Why do we need to talk about, or why do we need to study about reproductive health? This is very, very important because this addresses some of the very, very sensitive issues which are existing in the world. Now, you might not know the situations or the issues prevailing in different parts of the world, but when you talk about our own country, maybe in India itself, we see so many issues are there. It is still there. So, and we need some solution to those issues. And reproductive health addresses quite a few of them. So one of them is overpopulation. Now we actually see the data says that the population is increasing, has been increasing like anything. So the increase is very huge. Now what happens when the population increases so much? Now when the population increases too much, it is something like you have an, say, aquarium, a small aquarium, and inside that you have, say, 5 fishes. Now what happens? The fishes start reproducing amongst themselves, and more fishes are being produced inside the same aquarium. Now what's happening? The size of your aquarium is not changing, correct? But the number of fishes are increasing. From 5 it became 10, from 10, 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 35. Maybe a day arrives when the size of the aquarium is still the same, but inside now you have 100 fishes. Now what will happen? When there are 100 fishes, the amount of water present there, which is extremely important for the survival of the fishes, or the amount of food which you provide, so that will become less for 100 fishes, and as a result what will happen? They will not be able to survive. One thing that is possible is maybe due to the pressure of so many fishes, the aquarium might break, or the fishes will start dying. So that is going to be the result. So in a very similar way, we also need to control the population so that otherwise there will be scarcity of everything. We will not be able to provide all the facilities to all the people if the number of people keeps on increasing like this. So in reproductive health, we actually talk about family planning, which tries to address the problem of overpopulation. So to address this problem, we will discuss about family planning, and there we will see that how can the size of a family be limited to a smaller number, and there are many ways of doing it. So we will see that. Femalefeticides, we also see that there are so many people. It happens that the female is pregnant, and by some means they get a sex determination of the fetus done, and they get to know that the fetus is going to be a baby girl. Now not only in India but in many other countries, they have this thinking that they want a baby boy, they do not want a girl child, and I really don't know why. There is no difference between a girl child and a male child, right? But still people have that mindset because everybody wants a boy. I absolutely do not know the reason, but that is how the thought process is there even now. So what happens when they get to know about the sex of the fetus? They get an abortion done. So they do not want a girl child, and this is extremely not correct. Basically, when you are getting an abortion done, you are actually killing a baby. So it has not yet taken the form of a baby. We all saw, right, in the last lesson that how a baby is formed inside a mother's womb. It starts from a single zygote, then the zygote forms morula, then blastocyst, and gradually it develops into a baby. So at the very initial stages itself, you are just finishing it off. So basically you are killing a baby, which is not at all right. So this is another problem which is prevalent in many parts of the world. So in reproductive health, we also talk about this. We will see that there are ways where you do not arrive at this situation. High maternal mortality rate. So what is maternal mortality rate? So maternal mortality rate is the number of female dying while delivery. So actually earlier, if you compare to the past, now it has at least reduced. Now less number of females die during delivery, but earlier a lot of females used to die while delivering or giving birth to a baby, or due to some pregnancy complications or things like that. Due to these kind of reproductive issues, a lot of females used to die. So the maternal mortality rate used to be really high. Now it has at least improved, but in again, we are not only talking about India. In different parts of the world, you will find areas where the maternal mortality rate, which is often termed as MMR, is still very, very high. So in order to control that, also reproductive health helps. How? It actually talks about the care that is needed for the pregnant mother. It also talks about the medical facilities that need to be provided to a pregnant female. It also talks about how to take care of a newly born child. Unwanted pregnancies. Now, throughout the world, it has been seen that due to different types of scenarios, people end up having unwanted pregnancy. They do not want a baby, but still they get pregnant. Now, there can be a situation where people casually got into unprotected sex, and as a result, they are pregnant, but they never wanted to be. So that is one scenario. There can be another scenario where some sex crimes happen, like rape or something, and the female is pregnant. So obviously the female never wanted to be, but still she is. So there can be many scenarios of unwanted pregnancies, and these unwanted pregnancies later create a lot of problems. For example, if a female is pregnant unwantedly, what would she like to do? She would like to get the baby aborted because she doesn't want a baby at all. Maybe because there can be many factors. Maybe because she was not willing for the sexual intercourse and she was forced to do that. So obviously she doesn't want a baby. There can be some societal reasons, like she is not yet married but she got pregnant because she got into a sexual intercourse. So she again doesn't want a baby. So the reasons can be numerous. But at the end of the thing, the moral of the story is that she doesn't want a baby. So what will she do? She'll go for abortion. Now when you talk about abortion, there can be many side effects of abortion too. So it is always beneficial to avoid unwanted pregnancies. So now the question is how to avoid unwanted pregnancies. So that is what we will talk about when we discuss the contraceptive methods. So there are a lot of contraceptive methods by which couples can avoid unwanted pregnancies to avoid any future complication. So that is also what we will discuss under. That is also a section which will be discussed under reproductive health. Sexually transmitted diseases. This is extremely important because we actually see a large number of people dying due to these kind of diseases which spread through sexual contact. Now the transmission is so high because people are not aware of these kind of diseases. People don't know that, okay, if I get into an unsafe sexual intercourse, I might get infected with these kind of deadly diseases. They don't know. So when they don't know, they don't bother, right? But when you have information, when you know stuff, then you are aware before you are cautious before you get into anything like that, right? So it is very important that people are educated on all these things, like how to avoid unwanted pregnancies, or how to how to try to prevent the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases, or how to ensure family planning. So these are some of the things which everybody should know at the right time. And the right time is when you are about to enter your adolescence, because when you enter your adolescence, you are actually entering the reproductive phase of your life. Right? So when you are entering reproductive phase of your life, you are actually physically you are becoming capable of reproducing. So that is the time when you should have all the information about reproduction, about reproductive health, so that you do not end up doing something for which you might regret later. Lack of care results in diseased children. So in many times it is seen that people just neglect the care of a pregnant woman, or people neglect the care of a newly born child. So that results in diseased children, and then if the children are diseased, it's like, I mean, they contribute less to the society, and then they become a burden in some sense, right? So even though now they have also been, they are also encouraged to do good things, but the question is, when there is an option where you can prevent making them diseased, so that is always better, right? Prevention is always better than cure. So why do you want to neglect the care when you know that can result in diseased children? increased sex crimes. So this is again another important crime which is happening throughout the world, and because of that also the reproductive health gets affected. So reproductive health also talks about scenarios which can handle these kind of issues better.